Welcome to Ecclesia Principles, a biblical strategy for believers to engage in God's design for government with Ray Eppard.
Hello, glad you could join us again today. This week we've been looking at how our founding fathers protected the unalienable rights of everyone, that was their intent through the Declaration of Independence and through the Bill of Rights. That was the intent. They were listing, if you would, what they believed to be the unalienable rights, that the rights given by God. And see, here's something we got to understand. Governments actually do not give rights. They either acknowledge or they steal those rights from the people. They take them from the people, one of the two. And at that point, again, we talked about it earlier in the week, how that nations will stand judgment before God, not necessarily within a 20-year time frame, but within the life of a nation, it will stand judgment for what it does regarding the rights of the people that God has given it. Now, with this, Romans 13:1 has been our text, and I'm particularly the A part, because I'm really wanting to emphasize this, because this is Paul's opening statement when he begins to talk about things with government. And if you don't grasp this opening statement, you can misinterpret all the rest of it. Let every soul be subject to the governing authorities. Every soul. King, governor, president, Congress, preachers, let every soul, parents, let every soul, children, every soul be subject to the governing authorities. Let them all be subject to the authorities that God has established. If you would, let them all be subject to the jurisdictions that God has created. Self-government, family government, civil government, church government. And so with this, right now we're talking about really the First Amendment in this, and how that the First Amendment was an encapsulating of the jurisdiction of self-government, that within self-government, you are directly accountable to God for your own obedience. Therefore, no one else should tell you what your faith should be. No one else should tell you how to practice your faith. That's self-government and church government, if you would. Freedom of speech, self-government. Freedom of assembly, peaceable assembly, self-government. Freedom of the press, that really is also an expression of self-government. Because at this point it's saying that not only do you have a right for your opinion and to talk to your neighbor, you have the right to publicize your opinion. You as an individual have a right to publicize your opinion. It doesn't make your opinion right. It doesn't make you correct. But within your self-government, Congress is not to limit your right to proclaim it. Now, with that, see, one of the things that has happened in recent years is government and the powerful media has taken on the assignment to eliminate disinformation. Disinformation. Now, that's really intriguing to me, because, right now, some parts of education are actually discussing the idea that 2 + 2, maybe we should allow it to also be 5. Why isn't that disinformation? History is being rewritten in so many different ways. Why isn't that disinformation? No, you see, here's the problem with that term disinformation. It all comes from the perspective of the person talking about it. And see, the bottom line is, what I think is disinformation and what you think is disinformation could be totally opposites. I think yours is, you think mine is. Well, the bottom line, the founding fathers through the freedom of the press, we're protecting the right of everyone to present their ideas, the marketplace of ideas. That's the concept of America. And the bottom line is so much that is in media, and too many people are buying into the idea that, well, you know, people shouldn't be allowed to put out things that's wrong. Well, I would agree. People should not be able to put out 2 + 2 is 5. There's things that are factually wrong. But when we come to opinions, we should have freedom of the press. That's an unalienable right. We should have the right to express our opinion publicly, even if the majority thinks it's wrong. And if you don't protect other people's rights to do that, then eventually they'll come for yours. God bless you.
You've been listening to Ecclesia Principles with Ray Eppard. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook on our Ray Eppard pages. This program was brought to you by Victory Worship Center and World Outreach. Services Sunday 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, 200 Hammond Lane, Stanton, Virginia.